Hey guys, this is Ray the Messenger, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about why you should stop watching the news and television overall. Now let's get right into the video. For me personally, I stopped watching the television and news a long time ago because I realized at one point that watching the news does not benefit my life and neither does it benefit yours. And the reason for it is plainly simple. Think about it. If you're watching the news, does that actually benefit your life? Does that actually help you in your endeavor? Unless you're some news person, unless you're some journalist, the news don't matter to you. Unless you're some kind of guy who's always trading with stocks or stuff like that, the news don't matter to you, and it's even detrimental to your own mental health and your situation in life. And the reason for that is if you think about the whole thing that the news propagates, the news wants you to listen to negative stuff, because in the end of the day, negative stuff is the stuff that sells. If you have a headline that is a headline like, oh, this person has succeeded in a certain kind of endeavor, they maybe achieved a certain kind of financial success, or maybe they achieved something in their life. This is one headline that you have, and if you compare the statistics of that headline, how many views that headline will get in comparison to the same headline but a little bit different, like something like rich person is evil and exploited their employees, guess which headline will get more views? It's the second one, because we as humans have a bias towards negativity and negative stuff and negative things that happen in our life. And the reason for that is really interesting. So if you go back thousands of years ago into the human evolution, you will realize an interesting thing, that the most humans are actually prone to negativity and negative stuff that happens in their life, because one negative action can cause you to die. If you make one mistake, you're dead. If you see in a bush something whispering and something whistling in the bush and you make the wrong decision, so you say, oh, this isn't the negative stuff, this isn't a tiger, this isn't something that wants to eat me, and you are wrong, you are dead. This is why we have such a focus on everything that is negative, and we have to go for the negative assumption automatically in order to protect ourselves and save our mind and our lives. So your brain automatically will go to the most negative assumption and will go towards the negativity, because negative stuff has a really big importance in our life, and we have a negativity bias. And in order for you to actually counteract that negative bias, you have to stay away from the news. Yeah, you can go in and watch the news sometimes. If there's some crazy stuff happening that everybody knows about, you will know about it anyways. You don't have to consciously go into a news website or go read the news or watch television for you to know the news, because in the end of the day, think about it, everything that is important, you already know. Every crazy stuff that has happened, you already know. You don't need to go consciously to go and waste your time, especially that. Waste your time, sit there and get bombarded with some weird negative news. This is one kind of thing that is really bothering me about watching the news and television. And the second thing is, if you're watching the channels, do you believe that everything that they're saying is 100% the truth? You can't be 100% correct, because in the end of the day, there's a message or there's a news report and you're not 100% sure where is that coming from, what is the source, what is the truth. There are a lot of examples, so many examples for all kinds of channels. We're not just only talking about the classic big channels, but all kinds of channels also online that have reported stuff that is complete bullshit, stuff that doesn't make any sense, stuff that in the end of the day turned out to be completely wrong. And you know why they did that? Because they want views. They make their money off views. If they have views, that's good. The crazier the stuff that happens, the better. Oh, the world is heading towards its end? Perfect. We can print more newspaper, we can make more money. That's what they want. They're interested in making money. They're interested in making you watch and buy more newspapers. How can they make you buy and watch more newspapers? Listen, the easiest way is to make you believe the world is going to explode. If you think, oh, aliens are coming and the world is going to go down the drain, and you actually believe that stuff, guess what? You're going to buy every single newspaper and you're going to watch the news 24/7, because you're like, holy shit, the next moment we could all be done. This is what the news wants. They want you to believe that this world is a horrible place where everything can happen, nukes can fly around, everything can happen. This is what the news wants you to believe. The news does not want you to believe that the world is a good place or that there are big opportunities for you coming, because that's not how they make their money. If they're doing that, if they're a newspaper that is only promoting the positive stuff and how you can succeed, there will be some people watching that, 100%. But if another newspaper in the same realm promotes a different kind of message, a message where it's like, oh, have you heard of the shit that happened in Afghanistan or whatever the hell, and in the end of the day, there will always be negative stuff happening in this world. There's always positive stuff and there's negative stuff, but the negative stuff draws more attention because of the bias that we already discussed. So the newspapers are inclined to promote the negative bias because more people are interested in that and gravitate towards that. This is one thing. You also have to realize that most people are not in a conscious mindset where they realize what messages are good for them and what messages not. They're just kind of like drones. They're like sheep. They watch something, open their eyes, somebody says something, oh, you have to watch out for these people because they're coming for you. And they're like, holy shit, they're coming for me? Who's coming for me? I need to watch more news. Who are these people? Why are they bad? What is happening in this world? These are the people that are attracted to the news. They're the common denominator. The most people in this world, like you have to assume, like from the statistics, if you look at intelligence quotient comparisons, most people are actually not that smart. smart, and even if they are, they don't really realize what is happening. So if you open your eyes and start thinking for yourself, then you will quickly realize what stuff is happening in the news, what they're telling you, and what stuff they want you to believe, because they want to sell more stuff, they want to make money. That's the only thing that interests them. They're not interested in telling you the truth. Yeah, of course, a little bit of truth is always good, but our main focus is to make money. That's their business. Their main incentive is to make money, and as long as they can tell you some stupid stuff that doesn't make sense mixed in with some stuff that's maybe right or wrong, then they can make their money. If they're of course only telling bullshit, then in the end of the day that's not good for their business, because they're just lying. But maybe if some stuff is wrong, or maybe if we ignore some certain news stories, then in the end of the day they will be good. This is the big issue with the news, and I personally don't like watching them, and you shouldn't do either. You can only watch them in order for you to understand what is the narrative that somebody wants me to believe, because in the end of the day everybody has a certain narrative. Even I have a certain narrative that I want to tell you. My narrative is for you to improve your life and not waste your time with stupid stuff that's going to drag you down in negativity. When you're watching the news every single day, that is going to have a negative impact on you. You're not going to be focused on your mind and on the things that really matter. You always have that in the back of your mind. Oh, what happens in Uganda? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit what happens in Uganda? It has nothing to do with you. What does it have to do with you? What does it matter what happens somewhere in Africa? Yeah, of course it's a bad thing, and of course we need to start working towards changing those things, but you should focus on yourself, because when you improve yourself, then you can pull other people up. If you're sitting there going crazy about stuff that you can change anything about because you're not in a situation to change it, then it doesn't matter. I'm also not focused on this stuff, because I know consciously in my mind, I know even if there's some crazy stuff happening somewhere in Afghanistan, this place, that place, it doesn't matter for me. It has nothing to do with my personal life. It is not impacting me personally, and I know I cannot change these things in the certain situation that I am right now. I'm realistic. I'm not ignorant. I'm not an idiot. I know that in the certain situation I have to improve myself. This is the biggest impact that I can create. Of course, if you're somebody, listen, if you're sitting here, you have $1 billion, you have $1 billion, you have $100 million, you're some strong politician who has a lot of influence, yeah, of course, you can start trying to change those things. Then it makes sense for you to focus on these things and change them. But in the end of the day, if you're not in that position, the only thing that you should be worried about is improving yourself, getting yourself to the next level, because only then you can improve yourself. If you're sitting there, you're some kind of nobody, you're a person just sitting somewhere random in some place, you should only be focused on yourself. It doesn't make sense to sit there and think about, oh, what about this stuff in the world happening? This is crazy. Unless, of course, you're making money with it, unless you have a news channel yourself, then, of course, it makes sense. But otherwise, stay away from that. Listen only to the important things that really matter for your life. Okay, maybe you're like in the real estate business. Okay, then read about what is happening with the real estate market. Then it makes sense. If you're in some kind of business situation, then you can go and read Forbes. Yeah, it makes sense. Read news that matter to you. Go to sites that you can trust, and always question everything that they're telling you. Even question what I am telling you. Does it make sense? Yes or no? Question it. Think it for yourself. Don't just listen to me or listen to somebody else and be like, oh yeah, if they're saying it, it must be true because they're X, Y, and Z. No, this is not how it is. You should always question everything. Think for yourself. This is how you can get to the truth for yourself, because your truth might be different than my truth. You have your own ideas and you can combine them with other ideas, and I shouldn't be the main influence in your life. You can take my inspiration, my influence, and try to improve your own life in the way that you want it. But there's no certain one way that everybody wants to tell you, like the news. They want you to believe one thing and one thing only. Everything else, it doesn't matter, because they want to get you hooked. They want to get you hooked on the news. They want you to watch every single day 24/7, because that's how they make their money. Understand? They don't have the best intentions at heart. Don't trust these people. They don't want you to succeed. You should only listen to people that really want you to help, want you to succeed, and want you to get better in life. This is the only way that you can get ahead. So be careful who you're listening to. This doesn't only apply to news and television, but to everybody, even on YouTube. Listen carefully. Who are these people? What ideas do they have? And maybe they have some secret agenda. Maybe they want you to believe a certain stuff, because guess what? If you believe that stuff, maybe you're going to buy their merch. Maybe you're going to tune in next show so they can make more money. This is the important thing. Always analyze the situation. I hope this video was helpful for you. Like I said, don't watch the news, guys. Makes no sense. Only get the most important stuff for you and your life. Yeah, and then you'll be good, like I do. So I will see you in my next video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. And yeah, thank you and have a nice day. Goodbye.